Hey, lady.
Hey, honey, what's going on?
Not a darn thing. What's going on with you?
Nothing, girl. Just calling to check in on you. Tell Mr.
Okay.
Mike Happy Father's Day.
Yeah, I let him know he's sitting out back right now.
Oh, girl. What's
What?
going on with y'all?
Heard nothing. I'm chilling every day, so nothing.
Oh, okay. You retired yet?
Yep.
Girl, lucky you. That's
Yep.
crazy. That is crazy. That
Yeah.
you ain't no 65. You retired early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
62.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. I
Uh,
was. I ain't promised to be here. The 67 is what they say.
I
To
know that's right.
get your full Social Security. I said, well, that food in there, you might not get nothing. So let me just go and get mine now.
Okay, okay, exactly. Girl, no.
So yeah, I said, oh, I ain't playing with him. And then they was getting on my nerves. So I told them, hey, I gave them 20 years. That was enough.
I know that's right. Yeah, honey. You going all over, child, with that job. I know
Child,
that's
yes,
right.
everywhere. Helping down in South Florida, Orlando, everywhere, child. So wherever they need it. So I said, I done
Okay.
did what I need to do. I'm done. I said, Then, they moved me to a different department. And I didn't have to travel no more. I worked, sitting at a desk all day. I told them, no, that ain't my cup of tea either. So I,
Girl.
I tried it
Uh-uh.
for 3 years and I was like, okay, that's enough.
So they weren't in the department where you work with the company I work with?
They moved because I was provider relations. Then they moved
Okay.
me inside to do provider data maintenance, and I told them. And then I was working on that old stupid directory, which I always wrong. So
Oh,
enough
okay.
already.
Oh, okay. That's what I was like, girl, that was
I
so
was
crazy.
managing. Yeah, I was managing that. Then I had some data analysts, which hell, I ain't understand none of that nonsense they be doing. Then he gonna tell me something. But maybe you need to learn how to do SQL. No, I don't. Y'all ain't paying me enough to learn SQL.
Mm-mm. No,
I,
ma'am.
I ain't trying to be no data analyst because if I go back to school or whatever, you ain't paying me no more. I'm still gonna be working these crazy hours. So nope. I
Right,
said I'm
and
gonna
that
leave this
line
for
of
you young
business.
people.
Right, that
Mm-hmm.
line of business. We had to stay up. Y'all up, we up. I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't with that. That's why I kept giving away my own call. I was like, baby. Y'all would call in the other banks or whatever. Y'all would call
Uh-huh.
a sister 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, baby.
They
I'm
don't
like, oh
care. They don't
no.
care.
Oh
They
no.
don't care.
They
Nope.
talking about they be like, are you watching our millions? That's all we want to know. Are you up?
Child.
Are you up?
That's all
Like,
they want.
baby.
Checking to make sure y'all doing your job. So,
Right.
no, I
I
wasn't
was
studying up.
like, baby. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
that was crazy. They had
Yeah.
no, what was that other, was it first? One of them, they had no problem calling 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. They had no
Oh.
problems with that. I'm like, dude.
They don't be caring, and that was the hospital system. So they up all time of day and night anyway. So,
Right. Like, leave
mm-mm.
me alone. People gonna get paid. The money gonna get in the bank. Like, what is going on? Oh no, baby.
Cause them crazy doctors get the call in and talking about my money ain't in the bank. Well, if it's been going in there, it ain't going in there. There's something wrong. It ain't got nothing to
Exactly.
do with us.
Exactly. Like, okay, and it's like I'm like, oh my gosh. And no, we had one that always like to call just to make sure it went through. Can you call when it's broken? When it's broke, then
Oh
call
no,
me.
yeah, they be want to make sure their money is in that account.
Yeah, like can you when it's broken, then you call me.
No, they be anticipating. They want to make sure
Girl.
they dollars in that child. So yeah, they don't play. Cause one thing they knew that they get their check on a weekly basis when it came to Medicaid.
Yeah, that's crazy. Girl, that thing got on my nerve, and I
They
was
want
still.
to make sure their money was there.
And then I went to
Yeah.
legal for a minute. I'm like, this is crazy. This is a crazy line of business. I
It
mean,
is. It is.
it was, and I was like, girl. Then come find out you own one of the accounts. I'm like, girl, bye. Rolling
Yeah.
once again, rolling once again. Girl,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, that's why I told Child, I told him I had all I can do. I said, I've done all the damage I can do in the years I've been here. I said, so
Uh-huh.
I'm calling it quits. They kept like, no.
I'm
Yes.
done.
And then it was funny because one girl called me the other day and say, yeah, they said the directory the best it's been since the company probably started. I said, yeah. I said, all my hard work is paying off and somebody else getting the credit for it.
Mm-hmm. That's how it always happens.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it
yeah.
always happens.
Mm-hmm. I
Yeah.
said, but I said, you know, like I know, I'm the one got all that stuff in order with the people that I hired to come in and things I had them to create. So I said, well, tell them thank you.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Tell them
Exactly.
they're welcome. I said, cause yeah, I did all that.
Right. You fix the system, and then
Mm-hmm.
somebody gets the credit. And you're like,
Mm-hmm.
child, but no, I
And
just
I
wait.
said it was so, and it was crazy because when I was over the department, I didn't have no supervisor. So the girl that replaced me, they gave her a supervisor. I'm like, huh?
Girl, that's
Well,
crazy.
I'm like, well, that didn't make no sense.
Right.
I didn't see y'all trying to give me no supervisor when I was over there.
Right. And those in that area, jobs like that, you usually is it. You know, they don't usually.
Yep.
You are the job. You like
always doing the job for 3 or 4 people.
Yep.
And then after you leave, then that's when they want to hire that many people because they did the same thing when I was in provider relations. I said, y'all done sat here, told me I ain't need but 3 people, but then after I left here, now y'all got 8.
What? Girl, bye.
Girl, bye. Nah, because the thing is, as long as you're doing the work, they're going to let you keep doing it.
Girl, bye. Yep, exactly. Yeah, you know, and they rewarded me and acknowledged me or whatever, but I'm like, after I left, when I moved me on to somewhere else to clean up, then they wanted to hire 2 or 3 more people. Yeah, because you found out. You found out. You know, I made it look easy. Always got to be the cleanup people.
Yeah,
always got to be the cleanup. Here we go.
Yep.
Clean up woman.
Yep.
God, Lord, if you don't leave me alone.
Yeah. So I told them that was the happiest decision I done made. I said, I'll sit here every day and do nothing.
Right.
They were so worried that I was going somewhere else. I said, no, I ain't going to work for nobody else. And if I did, I'll let you know. But I'm going home and I'm chilling and enjoying life.
Right. Yeah. Y'all had a non-compete clause in your thing?
Nope.
Oh, y'all didn't? Y'all okay? Me either. But I was sick of you getting on that little plane, child. Every time I was like, you know, I'm scared of planes, and you tell me you got to get on that little Buddy Holly plane. I'm like, I'm so sick of this job.
And it was funny because they just, I guess they filed bankruptcy and they was called. I said, oh, that's a little airline, Silk Airline. I used to be on the little plane. My time, I know you wasn't. I said, you didn't know then. I said, it's too late now. Hell, I done flew on that little plane so many times going to Tampa.
Girl, I was sick of that plane. I was like, why you can't drive? Just drive down there. My nerve bad.
It don't be worth it, child. Get on that plane for them little 45 minutes. I was like, versus me getting in that car driving over there to Tampa. I said, it wouldn't be worth it to me.
Now, how many times we done tore up going down that way? Child, girl, you get on that little butt. How many people sit that little old plane?
Child, it might have had about 20-something on there. And then, you know, sometimes once you get in there, they have to rearrange you because they got the balance up.
I'm glad you tell me that. Then I'm like,
balance the plane off with your luggage and all that stuff to make sure.
Girl, no ma'am. That old Buddy Holly plane. I'm like, no ma'am. She gonna have to do better than this. I ain't with it. I
got used to it, so it didn't bother me.
Child, please. I raised my hand when they was trying to. You remember? Are you familiar with TriStar? Oh, okay, that was another one of them type places. It was with First Union. First Union was theirs, and so yeah, they tried to send me to Virginia, and you know how travel booked your thing. I said, hello, excuse me, I drive. They were like, what? And they had never had nobody in management that drive. I'm like, I'm sorry, I drive. And it was like they was looking around like, well, what we gonna do? yeah, you gonna call the rental people or whatever. But it ended up I had to rent it up. They had to reimburse me because that wasn't in their how they their protocol when it came to travel. And that Tony kept my child. It was the first time shit anybody had ever kept, because hey, baby, when I tell you, I'm not getting on no thing. Did you get a invite to the party?
I did.
Oh, okay. You didn't go?
No, I went.
Oh, yeah. Oh, girl, you could tell me all about it.
You rushed around, Trish. You worked around, Trish. Yeah, because we sat there and laughed about that the other day, too. Oh, you went? I said, yeah, I went. You got to tell me all about it.
Girl. Oh, so where did she have it at? Because I know her and I was getting all these little things.
And I kept telling her, I said, I've already RSVP.
Yes.
Why y'all keep sending me this thing over and over again?
Yes.
I said, somehow it ain't connected or whatever. So me, Shalice and Mike end up going.
Oh, okay.
So we end up going up there to see, they said it was supposed to have been like formal. Black people don't do right?
Yeah, black people don't do right.
I mean, they had never any and everything on, because I'm thinking you're going to tell people to wear a gown, then I'm looking at these people, they just coming in, then you saying black and white, and everybody just wearing whatever they felt like wearing that day, I guess. I said, well, if I'd known that, I was just dressed in a kind of way, too.
Okay, because, I'm always over, all that footage they got on me, I'm in some kind of gown, but, yeah. So, girl.
But to me, it was in some place over there off of Lim Turner.
Okay.
I mean, and to me, it was too small for the amount of people he was invited. And then it's like a disconnect because it's like it was two buildings. Where it was like a building, they had like a enclosed tent area in the back. And that's where the DJ was, and the supposedly bartender was back there. And the food was in the front section. He was sitting in the front section. So it was kind of like disconnected, right? So if they was trying to talk or say something in the front, they either want you to come up there, and I'm just like, this is too much. So, yeah, it was just, to me, when you're having parties like that, you just need to have one big open room.
Right.
That way,
big old
everybody
place.
in the same room. Right, because then when people wanted to dance, they had to come back there in the back area where the DJ was.
Wow.
And, it was a bunch of, like, the little young people. He had his little basketball team for high school. They were serving food and stuff. And I guess Clarice probably did all the cooking. I think she did all the cooking because I don't think it didn't seem like it was catered or anything. So she probably did all the cooking. And I know Shauna said that they was in there decorating earlier and stuff. And said, because when we got there, she was just coming back. She said she had just left, but she had to go and get changed, whatever. But wasn't none of y'all people there, because the old group, none of y'all showed up. None of y'all.
No.
I said, when y'all said bye, y'all said bye.
No, cause I'm having that reaction and stuff like that, and I can't get my hair done and stuff like that, and I can't get nothing on my face, so it wasn't no use of me coming in there, cause baby, I have to come in there like, what? But no.
You've been overdressed and stuff, cause I mean,
yes,
Patrilla,
as usual.
None of the kids that really played on the team was there. There was only a couple of them there, Shauna, like I said, she was there, and Shaq was there. Other than that, Charles and her mama came. Yeah, a lot of them people I didn't know him, and his family, his mama came. But I never got to see her because, like I told you, she was in the front, I was in the back.
Wow. So it was a lot of people. How?
Yeah, he had people. Melvin, his brother.
Oh, Melvin came. Oh, okay.
Yep, and his son TJ came. Him and his wife and kids.
TJ.
Yeah. So it was funny because I was just like, okay, this is kind of. I said, I don't even know these people up in here. I mean, if you didn't play on the team, I didn't know you.
Oh, wow.
It was a lot of faces I didn't know.
Yeah, he had a lot of family from down south come like his cousins and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah, he had a
Hmm.
few of those, but yeah, people he grew up with down there and stuff. It
Oh
wasn't so much his
wow.
cousin. I don't know which daughter this is. I don't know. She must be the oldest one. I know he lost one, so there's another one, the
He
older
lost
daughter.
one.
Yeah, the one that lived in Atlanta, she passed.
Oh no, I ain't know nothing about that. He ain't said
Yeah,
to
it's
me
been a
that.
few years ago. Yeah, I don't know none of them. Y'all was
Yeah.
trying to help me with all that, so I didn't. But I think she was the oldest, the one that passed. That was the oldest one.
Oh my
And
God.
then
What?
I guess there's another daughter. And then she came in there, the colors was supposed to be in black and white and wearing a gown. She had on some green and didn't have on a gown. And I was just like, okay.
Oh Lord, they didn't do by the. Now I probably should have. I probably could have helped them with the little arrangements. That's the least I could have done.
What
Oh,
arrangements?
with sometimes you have to help Reese with arrangements so it can be right.
Well, yeah, she be trying to do it all, and she over there tired
Mhm.
and everything. I said, see, that's why when you have these type things, you need to ask for help.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it's a lot.
It's a lot, especially with that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he know everybody.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. So and the fact that you said all them people was in there and it was too small.
It was, because it was like the little walkway to go to the back. That's kind of why they tried to serve the food. And I'm like, okay, this is too tight, trying to get through and everything. So it was too small for them.
Yeah. Because mind you, right? So they had got married at a gym.
Um,
So look like to me, you should have probably looked for some if you wanted to. I don't know what the budget was or whatever, but
yeah.
try to do it like at a gym or whatever.
Yeah, they needed something bigger than that
Right.
place. Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
And then it was raining, and
Oh. Oh no.
so I
Oh
said,
man.
when we got there, it had stopped raining. So I'm like, okay, cool. But it kept raining off and on. But yeah, and then we was laughing because whoever the bartender was, she probably wasn't the bartender because she filled the glass up with alcohol and gave you a splash of
Chase.
a chaser. Mm-hmm. And nothing had a brand name on it.
Huh? Girl, stop playing with me.
I ain't playing with you.
Girl, ain't nothing had no brand. They had
Mm-hmm.
like I don't even drink,
Wait a
but
minute. Wait a minute. They didn't even. Tito's. That's a vodka.
yeah,
It ain't very expensive, but that's a name people know. So it
yeah.
wasn't no names you knew. So
Oh no.
I'm like, if you gonna serve alcohol, at least get stuff people knew.
Yeah, so they can ask by name or something, or get
What you come over there and ask for, you either want vodka, tequila.
right, right. And the
That's
thing
all
about
you
it
can
is,
ask for, cause you don't know what brand you get.
right, and when you on a budget, that put it in a way say, hey, I can get you there, but I can't keep you there. So you can bring your
Mm-hmm.
own. What was people bring their own liquor?
Right, they do that. I don't see why you couldn't. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, but I didn't know if it was one of them type of places. I wonder where he had it at on Lim Turner.
It's on the ditch center. It's not right off the highway because I think when we came, it brought us in a back way. So, but if you ride down Lim Turner, it's about maybe it's past that shopping center. I can't remember. It
Mm.
didn't have several different names, and it sits on the left hand side. It done had a couple of names to it because it wasn't even the name
Mm.
that they had on there. They
Oh
had changed the
Lord,
name again. It seemed like they done had several names because I went and I was trying to look it up to figure out where it was. But
Lord have mercy. She be doing. You okay?
yeah, it went down the wrong pipe.
Oh, okay, okay. So what kind of food she had?
You know the stuff she normally cooks, that jerk
No,
chicken,
girl,
all that type stuff. Yeah.
not after all these years. I hope.
Oh, you
Mm.
thought that part was gonna change? Now you know that it wasn't gonna change.
Not that spaghetti. I hope not.
No, we ain't had no spaghetti.
Child, I had to fight with them people. And that girl Shauna said, Miss Angie, I like the spaghetti. I like the red kind of spaghetti, honey. I almost passed out.
What kind of spaghetti? What kind of sauce was on it?
Well, it was watery, so it didn't look.
She done watered it down, trying to make it stretch.
Okay. And putting, shrimp and all that extra stuff in there.
Oh, I ain't had none of that.
Yo, you ain't had none. Honey, that day, it was me, Frankie, and me, and him and her, we was in the same room. So she had done cooked that stuff, right? And so, she know she be forcing people to eat. And, and Frankie is kind of picky or whatever. And I was like, Frank, I was kept whispering. I said, Frankie, get a salsa and just get a little bit. Get a little bit. Get a little taste. Yeah, and when throw it away. She said, She told me, I said, come on, Frankie, don't do that. You make me look bad. Come on. Girl, Baby, she kept telling me, I'm not doing that. Baby, I'm like, I'm so sick of you, I don't know what to do. And so, yeah, that's because she be like, that's my world famous spaghetti. I'm like, oh, Lord, child. I mean, that day she had cooked that porridge. I didn't even know that was a real thing.
Oh, it is? I just thought that was like something they talk about on,
Yeah, I was like, she talking about, you just want something? I was like, no, I'm okay. She talking about, no. I said, what you fix? She talking about, I fix porridge. I was like, the Three Little Bears?
Yeah.
I was like, no. And baby, what so happened, of course she forced me, and I was, walking slow to come get the plate, and I don't know what happened, but my daughter was sitting up there on the counter, and somebody else, and Sonya, I don't know what I did with my arm, but that arm hit that plate flew up in the sky and landed. I said, thank you, Jesus. I said, thank you, because I ain't never had no porridge and stuff. Like, them people, they cook all different kind of stuff.
What goes in a porridge?
Yeah, like, what? I was like, I thought that was in the book.
That's different.
Yes. Oh, wow. I'm glad you see. I told him, I said, you say what you want to say, but I left you with good people. I brought good people, and I left you with good people. What are you talking about?
Yeah, they've been trying to get me to come back, but I told them, no, I'm good.
Girl. Yes, honey. I'm like, I'm still scarred. I'm still scarred, trying to get things in help with trying to get things in order, and wasn't that hard. You understand what I'm saying? And baby, child, we got to butt heads.
More complicated than it
Yeah, more complicated than it had to be. And I'm like, oh no, I don't work like this.
To help, and I'm sitting there like, you trying to hide stuff, and I'm like, if I'm doing all this, I need to know what's going on. And parents be looking at me like, oh, you know what? No.
Yeah. And they would come and tell me something. I'm asking Miss Angie because she the only one seem like she know what's going on. I'm like,
and then they get mad at you because they don't want you talking to them.
Oh, I ain't experienced it because they know I'm crazy. But you know how we used to get it.
Yeah. But that's what they keep saying. Quit talking to the parents. I'm like, look, people come and asking questions. Just tell them to come to me. I'm like, but I'm over there asking them for money. So, if I'm asking them for money, they feel like, hey, I can,
right. And they
ask you a question.
They're right. Well, he ain't never told me that because he know, baby. Well, y'all, you know how we used to knock down and drag out, baby. I used to have a knock down and drag out with all three of them. Yeah, that's crazy though. Like, don't at some point you're gonna have to improve on how you run things. And I mean, that thing could have been so much bigger. I was on the, and then you got to deal with somebody that just, want to be like, but it's my thing and whatever. That's fine. I'm shy. I ain't never finna take nothing from nobody. That ain't what I do. All them other jokers that you empowered, what they do, they came in and messed your stuff up. That wasn't me. I had everybody together.
Yeah, well,
And yeah, I mean, I'm showing y'all how to do stuff with the books, how to do this, and whatever. You know, and
but that's the thing. They don't want nobody to know what's in the books and stuff. So hey, they ain't showing you no books, none of that. So yeah.
And it was crazy. I mean, I was getting and I'm glad I didn't go through with the you know how I got that contract with the Jaguars, the stadium. I got that contract, and I was like, "What? You know, they of course they had to sign for it because I'm not putting my name on their organization. I'm not doing that." And then I was bringing one from the Suns. I don't know if you know about Jacksonville Suns, the baseball team that we have here. I was bringing that one, and something told me, because we had fallen out. I was like, because I just don't like foolishness. And then we had that comfy, cushy clubhouse. We was in the clubhouse. We started, I don't know if you was there, but we started out in the clubhouse.
Oh, no.
Okay, in the clubhouse.
Last time he couldn't even find people to come and work, and I'm sitting there like,
Okay, and it be the people that we working for. Them the ones that can't afford it. You understand what I'm saying? Those are people that we the one paying our money. We paying.
Right.
This money is for the ones that really can't afford it.
Right.
And I offset that. And y'all don't want to be here?
And them the ones that didn't ever come to work.
Exactly.
That pissed me off.
Exactly.
And I'm like, here I am. I'm the coach. And I'm still paying for my child. I'm working in the stadium. So that's why I stopped working at the stadium. Because I said, nope. I said, I'm working to help y'all out. And then y'all don't even want to come. So, nope.
Yeah, and I got my friends and stuff coming to help out to the stadium. And all them pay.
Yep, all them people from, what's that, came from Ocala. I said, they ain't never want to help. I said, nope. Can't do it.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Said, I'm paying for your kids. And I'm buying them food while we're on the road and stuff. And y'all act like, but I'm like, y'all seem to do well. You showing up for all the games.
Exactly.
You paying all this money to get up in Disney. That ain't cheap.
Exactly.
So I'm like, no, you pay for what you want to pay for.
Right. And Disney. So, oh yeah, but they up in there and did Disney, and you know that stuff at there. It was what, $5 for a pretzel. I don't know how much it is now.
And they run around there eating that too. So yeah.
That was crazy to me, and it's like it's like no. And I mean, lost the clubhouse. Then we go down to that bigger booth on the that main one, and then. From what I can understand, child, they ended up at a little hot dog stand type booth. I'm like,
we were. That's why. And I think they even lost that one because I mean we had Sonny's, and then I think that year after that, I think they ended up going even up on another level, and they was doing hot dogs and stuff. I mean, with Sonny's, we was making good money over there.
Yeah.
But he could never get people to come to work. And I was like, oh no. I said, you getting 2 coaches?
Exactly.
And we paying? No. So no, that's when I had to stop. I said, okay, I'm doing too much.
Right. And then the people I'm bringing in, they bringing in extra people. Come on now. And everybody was able to afford it, right? So the people, to me, and I was, coming up with all those fundraisers and stuff for the people that can't afford it, right? Those was the most, everybody did them, could do it. But the ones, they act like they didn't want to do some of the fundraisers. I'm like...
Well, that's the thing that got me, because it was like you was abusing the people that was paying.
Exactly.
And then, and then people got mad, got tired of that, because, even the little white people that came over there, remember? I said, then you took advantage of that, and then they left.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to stop and look at what you're doing and figure out what's what.
What's what? Right, right. You don't, man. That was crazy. I mean, we were scouting. We were doing it all, girl.
Yeah,
Bringing people over.
it could have been so much more.
Exactly. It could have been
Mm-hmm.
so much more, but people get in their own way, and
Yeah.
you can't be talking crazy to people just because you think you can talk crazy to people for nothing. It's like
Mm-hmm.
you wasn't there when Coach Pittman was there. Um,
Mm-hmm.
he was another good one. It was just crazy. It was just crazy. I was like, you know what? I don't know how long this gonna last, but baby, y'all gonna have to do better. Y'all have to do
Yeah.
better.
Yeah. But
And
I mean, it always seemed like you're hiding something.
right,
So
right,
just be up front. You know.
exactly, exactly. And I know that um our the travel and where we gonna lay it isn't expense. I mean, isn't cheap. I know that because I already told them. Like we had a knockdown drag out when they put them kids on that soul plane bus. And then Larice gonna have the nerve gonna talk about, yeah, and I'm gonna book that bus for the next. I said, no, you ain't. I don't care how much the next bus cost, but you won't be putting them on that guy another soul plane bus. And then the drivers, I don't know if you was there yet, but they kept talking about we need sleep. It was a lady and a man one time, and it was these other two dudes. Um, that was the lady and the man took us back, and the two dudes took us there. When I tell you, it was he he can't pull up. No, we was going to National, so you wasn't there. He can't pull up. He can't drive the bus around there, so we're gonna have to let y'all off. I mean, it almost be like a block or two. I'm like, and he can't pull around. I was like, I'm over it. But them white drivers, no problem. I'm like, girl, He really got on my darn nerves. So do you ever see the kids from Mandarin?
Mm-mm.
You don't? Yeah. But girl, I was calling, and it's is your big baby? She's still in Atlanta?
Yeah, she's still in Atlanta, and Felice back here now. So her and Malcolm's here.
Oh, that's good. That's good. That big
Yeah.
baby doing her thing, honey.
Yeah, we just hoping that Trump don't have her where she be jobless. Cause
Right,
she
yeah.
works at the CDC, so.
CDC, right, right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Only thing saving her right now, she's a contractor.
Oh, okay. Okay, I know that's right. But ain't it crazy, child?
It is. It makes no sense to me, but yep. So we just hoping that she can keep it. I said, if not, I guess they all. I said, no, she'll find something else. But if not, they all to be here.
Right, right, exactly. Ain't nothing wrong with that, baby. Ain't nothing wrong. Hey,
Well, I tell them, as long as you got a place to go back to, some kids can't go back home.
exactly,
So
exactly. Yeah, I know
what
that's
you
right.
doing every day?
Girl, teaching, and then I be keeping 150 jobs, and I'm trying
Where are you teaching at?
online to this college.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Adjunct, yeah, adjunct.
Hey, it's online. You ain't got to go nowhere.
Right, right. It's a little different with this because I switched it to teaching business. It's a little different because I got to actually be logged on a certain amount of time,
Mm-hmm.
and then how these the rollout of the new program that they're using, child, it's different. It's different from any of the other schools I've taught. But with the other schools it was lost, so I can just load the stuff up, like 2 or 3 weeks in advance, and they just take their test,
Oh, okay.
and
Okay.
and then like with a lot of it with law, you have to check for to make sure they have like so many words and all of that. That was the most stuff I had to do. With this, I got to I'm logged into Teams. You got Teams?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we used to
oh
use
my
team.
God. I hate it. We had teams with the other schools, but law. I'm less on teams now, but I'm more interactive with the classes. It's crazy. I can't
No.
stand teams, honey.
Yeah, when we went over to teams, we always struggling on teams.
It's a struggle, child. It's a struggle. I be like, what? Every time you turn,
Yeah.
I don't like teams. I don't like teams. But yeah, child. So, but it ain't that bad. It's just like I've never been a morning person,
Mhm.
so I don't really like that. And
So you have to get on. You have to go online, even though you're not actually teaching. You have to still be
be
online.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah, with
okay.
this type of with this new type of format, they have they because with the other college of business, before they used to do like law, you can load it up, the stuff be due, you give them a due date, usually on a Sunday or a Saturday or something like that. If they need
Mhm.
extensions, you go in and change that, whatever, and that's it. Now with this, they have to have a certain amount of hours in or whatever.
Oh.
So yeah.
Oh.
So
Okay.
then that make us have to have certain amount of hours in, and we have to be like right there available for their or whatever. So that's crazy. But other than
Oh.
that, but I'm sure I be still be trying to push them products.
So you
Um,
still doing that too?
yes, ma'am.
I
I'm still
said
trying to push some.
it'll pop up somewhere. We'll see you something.
Okay, okay, you know me, baby. Listen in. I was doing clothing, doing the mannequins and stuff like that. I was doing it. So yeah, you'll see me. Y'all run across some child. I never forget when that guy during Frankie came in. The Walmart on San Jose, and
Mhm.
child, I'm doing Neutrogena. I done got so familiar with the people or whatever. I don't even read what I'm supposed to be doing. But
Mhm.
I'm a freestyler anyway. I'm doing what I'm gonna do anyway. I got the stuff put out and all of that. And then child, so I had the little T-shirt on, whatever. And Frankie comes in there. She talking about, that shirt in Spanish. I look down. I was like, no wonder people probably think I don't speak English. Girl, the whole thing was in Spanish. Girl, I hollered.
You
Girl,
had the Spanish version.
girl, I got the Spanish version. I done said I'm finna put some Spanish version of Neutrogena. Honey, we laugh. That girl said, you know that shirt in Spanish. I was like, huh? But she knows Spanish. I looked down. I was like, oh
Cause
Lord.
that's why ain't nobody stopping to talk to me. They like,
Right.
she don't speak English.
Yeah. Yeah. I got some good little gift bags for all that type of stuff. They probably was like, baby, she don't speak no. We ain't got time. We come in here to Walmart to get one thing and to get out. Girl,
Like we ain't
yeah.
finna sit here and be trying to understand what she talking about.
Right, right. I'm just trying cuz I had surgery in August. I had
Uh,
my appendix or whatever. And
uh,
they had me out. They really had me out to December, but I knew I was starting the new job, so I said I
uh,
can come back, spring 1. And
uh,
it's still, kind of tender, but yeah, so I had that. But other than that, yeah, I'm just trying to get back with doing that. Trying to, I'm gonna get me about 4, 5, 10 jobs.
yeah, you be having some jobs, and I know I ran across Shanteria at Sam's. I'm like, now wait, what you doing here? I said, boy, you know, I could just find y'all anywhere. I said, between you and your mama, I don't know where I'm going to see y'all at next.
Girl, yes, ma'am. We be getting it, honey. We be getting it.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny, child. She be getting it too. I'm like, where you get this from? Where you get all of this? Because you can actually.
Yeah, I tell you, I said, I could just look up and one of y'all been done popped up somewhere. No?
Pushing something, baby. Pushing it.
I
Girl.
said, y'all working.
Yeah.
Y'all working.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, honey.
I
Yeah,
said, y'all
baby.
got some jobs. We can't say you don't have any jobs.
Okay, okay, child, please. You know I'm gonna have me. Listen, and it was so funny that how we was able to always be to the games and stuff. Like, even when our kids wasn't playing because we had jobs and hey, they already know that child come first.
Yep.
I'm telling you know, baby, and you know for nationals, I was like, listen, I got to be gone for 2 weeks or more. Okay, I'm trying to tell you. So
I know, child. I said that's why I said my old bosses I had back then. Oh, they was very flexible. They was like, oh, go ahead. You know, all right. I'll be back.
Yeah.
Well, they knew I worked, so they wasn't worried about me. Because I said, shoot, I'd
Exactly.
be gone weeks on end fooling around with them teens. And I'm like, y'all don't know I'm wasting my vacation, or either they just tell me to go ahead and go, don't worry about using my
Going
vacation.
on.
But I'm
Exactly.
like, I'd be wasting my time on y'all. I could be doing something else.
Exactly. Exactly. You know, not mine used to be unpaid because I've been to use my vacation or whatever on something else. You understand what I'm saying? Especially if it's one of the ones where you got to accrue and all of that. I've been to use, but I gotta go. I don't know what to tell you. Get somebody else.
Yep.
You
So
know.
you can either, let me be off, or I'm just gonna call out anyway. So come on.
Yeah, either way. Yeah, and you know when you are the department, pretty much you can pretty much schedule your, you know what I'm saying. So you know how much work coming in or
Right,
what
and
you
that's
can.
pretty much
Yeah.
what it was with me because I made my own schedule when I went out or whatever. So, yeah, it's just when we start getting larger and larger, then that's when things start getting a little shakier.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. They still in business.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yep, they still got the Medicaid contract, Medicaid, and Medicare. Now that we bought WellCare, so but they still call WellCare for the Medicare side.
Okay.
And we Sunshine Health here, and for Medicaid, and then they got the Ambetter.
Oh, okay.
So yeah,
Oh, okay.
they still doing it all, child.
Okay, shoot, that's a lot.
Yeah, because they got the new contract, and that new contract was getting ready to get started before I left, and I said, oh, it's time to go because I don't feel like going through another bill for this nonsense. So we had too many new people coming in, and then everybody want to do things their way, and I was like, no, it's time to go. And then you brought all them retarded people from WellCare over there that think they know everything, and then they didn't want to work. Them jokers didn't want to work, then they all started quitting. I said, see, that told me that y'all didn't do nothing when y'all was over there at
WellCare. Oh,
y'all
my
wasn't doing
God.
no work, because them jokers was dropping off like flies.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, WellCare. That was one of the ones that ran pretty smoothly. It didn't really break too much. It was a lot of money pushing through that system, but it didn't really break a lot.
Yeah, the thing is, y'all had a lot of those insurance companies that were trying to get them people to get their money electronically, but you had them little retarded old doctors that didn't want to, they didn't want to change. They wanted them paper checks.
Yeah, exactly. And then we have to process those checks separately, but but I like the the electronic, you move it, fix it, do whatever.
Well, every time when I went to the wrong address, I said, well, see, if you gone on to switch over, you wouldn't have that problem. Your money would be in your bank account. While you sitting chasing paper, then you got to take the paper to the bank. It already be there.
Yep. Exactly. Them files, them millions of dollars pushing through that system, baby. And you got to sit up there, and you can't even. It seemed like to me, like who was it? They always. It doesn't matter. Was it Linkia? Somebody So one of them didn't care. They was calling to make sure that it went through. I'm like, can you call? Because you're going to get the same notice I get if it breaks. Can you do that? Because you waking me up. And then after that, baby, I started giving away my own call. I gave it away. I'm not going to do this. You can have it. You can have it, honey. Like, this is crazy. And
that was crazy, though.
Yeah, that was. I mean, I'm like, child, somewhere got to fix something. But always somewhere got to fix something. Yeah, I was tired of, I mean, like, girl. Like, And then, yeah, that was just coming up. Child, I was so tired of them goddamn people. And then I know we had, I think they changed the different managers from over there, from where I was. Yeah. But I wonder, do they still work with that? Do y'all still work with?
Yeah, they do. Company? They still processing.
Oh, okay.
Yep, they still using them.
Damn.
So that's probably what keeping them in business.
Oh, you think so?
Yep, that's probably what's still keeping them in business.
Wow.
No, they still around, child.
Wow.
I told them I had all I could take. It was time for me to go.
Yeah, but you was doing a lot of work though.
Well, see, the people that work for me, they was lazy. They thought they just coming in and do a cakewalk. But see, what they didn't understand is I did the work.
Right.
So I knew what it took to do the job.
Mm-hmm.
And then they want to come in and half-ass do the job, and then they get mad when I tell them that they're doing the job wrong or whatever, and I got to go in the field with them and walk them through stuff. They get mad. So not my problem.
Yeah, that was crazy. You was doing a lot.
Go find a boss that didn't do this job, and that's what they didn't understand, because they said, well, the people down in Orlando don't have to do all this. Yeah, because they manager they came in from the outside. So, Of course, they wasn't doing what we did to take, what it took to do the job. I mean, they reviewing you based on how much money you save in the company. So if you ain't saving the company no money, you're going to be gone next anyway.
Ain't that crazy? That was crazy.
And then half of them, little white people, they didn't want to work for a black manager anyway.
Right.
So a lot of them left, and then it's funny, they came back when Will Care took over the department.
Ain't that something? Yeah.
I said, people said, well, why they left? I said, they saved me. I said, but I don't care. Bye.
Now, wait a minute. Why not? You sure you wasn't there, cutting the food like we used to cut the food with that man? That man was so glad. I know that man was glad when we left.
I only cut the food when I had to, but if you're doing your job, you don't have to worry about none of that.
Okay. I know that's right. I know that's right.
Your job. I said, heck, then we started working from home, so you really wasn't doing nothing.
Right.
So stop playing.
Right.
I said, everybody wanted the easy way out. I said, if I'm working harder than you are, then there's a problem.
Exactly.
Hell, I'm the manager. Why am I working hard?
Exactly. Exactly, honey.
So I don't have time to be playing with them.
Exactly. That's crazy, honey. That's crazy.
If you don't want to work, then this ain't the department for you. Then go to another department.
Right.
I said, because, no, you're going to work over here. You're going to do your job. Then everybody be laughing. They said, it's funny, Sonya, now that they over there with these other people. Why they still over there talking about the stuff that you taught them? I said, I know.
Ain't that something? Ain't that crazy? Yep, that's
right. All that stuff they be talking about is the stuff that you taught them.
Right. But I had, I've always go and make a manual. That's just my thing. I always go and make a manual. And someone had told me, talking about, girl, they still using the same manual. Because when I came over to where we was contracted with y'all, I started working on making a manual. So I had to find out what everybody, every department did or whatever. Then I had to, put it together to get a flow chart, right? But yeah, that's,
Mm-hmm.
and that'd be so crazy. You make it easier for everyone else. And I
Mm-hmm.
never get no static, nobody talking about, I did a bad job or anything like that. But my thing is, a lot sometimes people will they'll acknowledge you, but then they'll start acting as if they came up with it themselves. You know how them other managers, yeah, acting like they
Mm-hmm.
came up with it themselves. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, okay. But then when they got a question about something, they got to come find you.
Right. That's the part
Like,
that used to crack me up.
girl.
So the people already knew that I the one did everything over there
Mhm.
anyway. I said, so I wasn't even studying them because it was funny because it was like, why am I training everybody? We got all these managers here. You got all these employees that's been here. Why they can't train their managers on what they do?
Thank you. You the
I said,
manager.
so
You the
I'm the one had
trainer.
to, right.
For one
And I
pay.
wasn't getting paid for all that.
Exactly. For one pay. That's how they get you.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they get you.
Mm-hmm. That's what I told them. I said, but then you got to go to them and, be like, okay, when I'm going to get promoted or when, whatever. I said, I
Mhm.
had to fight to get promoted. I said, y'all was here promoting all these other people, the senior managers. I said, they ain't know nothing and didn't do nothing. I said, but
Wow.
y'all kept giving them promotions. So I had to fight with them to get that. I got that. I said, now the next was going to be a director. I said, I knew they wasn't going to let me be a director because they didn't hire somebody from the outside, So
Oh
I said,
wow.
mm-mm. I said, y'all be here talking all that smack about y'all hire within and try to, promote the
Lies.
people. Yeah, I'm like,
Mhm.
lies y'all tell. And then somebody gonna say, then my boss, because they hired him from the outside. He was younger than me. He was probably around Yasmin age.
Uh-uh.
Mm-hmm. And then he gonna tell myself, well, have you considered going back to school?
Ooh.
Dude, I ain't going back to no school. And then when he found out I was 60, he gonna say, oh, I didn't think he was. I said, ain't nobody going back to no school for this job. Y'all done lost your mind.
Right. You already got a 4 year. What they want you to get?
I said, child, I ain't staying, y'all. I'm not going back to school for y'all and nobody else. I said, at this point in my life, I'm trying to enjoy life, not over here stressing myself out, working a full-time job, going to school, and nope.
Going back to school. Child, let me tell you. They made Frankie a director of psychology now.
Oh, okay, because she's still with Shan's, right?
No, she's in Atlanta. But check this out right here. Frankie, she hadn't even had her 4 year yet. And when she got the 4 year, she got it from University of Phoenix. Now I'm not shading no University of Phoenix or whatever.
Right,
But what I'm
right,
just saying. So, people do what they want to do.
right, right.
You understand that? People do what they want to do.
Yeah, but I
Uh,
told that man I wasn't going back to no school. I ain't staying, y'all.
yeah, and Frankie don't know nothing about no damn psychology.
Well, that's the thing. They don't be caring. They just
Yeah.
feel like if you got a degree or whatever, they just gonna keep promoting you for this, that, and the other. And
She didn't
then you
even
wanna.
have one at that time when they promoted her to director at that
Mm-hmm.
hospital. That's what I'm saying. They do. She hadn't already had the job before she had graduated she only graduated from University of Phoenix like a few years ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
didn't
that's
realize she had
crazy.
moved. I thought she was
Mm-hmm.
still over at UF.
She gone. She in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
Remember she got married and I
Oh, that's
think
right. She did get married.
and she's from a dude that's from here and she um left here and moved back to Atlanta and then with the husband he came we went with him
Oh,
so
okay. So what is the daughter doing these days?
she is a doctor of phys what you call it physical therapy.
Oh, okay. Where's she
uh,
at?
she's here but I don't know who
Okay.
she worked for though. She
That's
worked
fine.
for
I ain't ran across her.
you haven't. Yep. She
Mm-mm.
she works here. My daughter just told me today, sent me the darn shot. Dominique is done got sentenced when he had called Christmas when Frank was over here, and he had called from jail.
Yeah, because he got in trouble for something. What was it? I remember that.
This was the recent one. You talking about way back then?
Oh, okay. So he didn't got in trouble again.
Yeah. Way back then, Lord. When he had got in trouble, it was he was a lookout person, whatever, at one of them pawn shops, whatever. And then although he was almost 20, we were child. Let me tell you something, Mister. I had never heard Frankie cry like that on the phone. I'm one of the first people they called. She called and I was like, what's wrong? And she went to crying and whatever. So I immediately called down there and had him get assigned to just a public defender first. So just to get his stuff, done. What we usually take all day, I got it done in 2 hours so they can do what they need to do. And girl ended up was able to get him into that program where it's for juveniles, but he was almost 20 and he went to the juvenile place. So that was good. And then now I think he done got in trouble maybe a time or two after that, but then now he's in this trouble. And my daughter.
Oh, he's still here? He's still in Jacksonville?
Yeah, he got arrested in Jacksonville because that's what the thing said. My daughter just sent it to me.
Now what he got in trouble for? I mean, it seemed like a pretty good kid.
Yes.
Got with the wrong people.
And I told him, I said, Dominique, I said, this crime thing is not working out for you.
Right.
Okay, I'm just trying to tell you. Because the other time, especially in our area. Come on now.
Right.
Okay,
right.
You can't do nothing over here. Okay, and so because that time I think you're talking about, or maybe the one of the other times, that's when he messed around and left his ID at the crime scene, and it was all on the news.
That's just crazy.
I said, oh Lord, I said, boy, this crime stuff ain't working for you. You
need to find something else to do.
Yeah, you need
that's crazy.
Right. And this was when I think his uncle, the stepson, her stepbrother, and all of them was in it, and it kind of caused a rift in between her and her dad because the dad is married to the new lady, and her son, and the cousin and all. It was a mess, right? It was a mess. But Dominique, he was just the lookout person, whatever, and that was real serious.
Which is stupid.
Yeah, yeah, because it was I think it was happening. I forgot which pawn shop it was, but anyway, was able to get him into that little program, which would keep this stuff off his record. He just served out his little time at the little juvenile center, not with no hardened criminals and all that stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So because that would have been the first time he was gonna ever be, locked away. Fast forward, this is some kind of armed robbery, and I hate that. Yeah, because you can get killed like that. You can get killed committing any crime, but that's definitely one that police roll up on you. You got a gun. Like, come on, in this climate, come on.
Well, I say, and you ain't even that type of person.
Right.
Now here you out here trying like you living a thug life, but you don't know nothing about being no
Thank
thug.
you. Them kids don't know nothing about that.
Right.
Don't know nothing about that.
Doing stupid stuff. That don't make no sense.
Right. I mean, they could really got to go find black people to hang with. They don't live in no areas where you just randomly hang out with black people.
Right.
Yeah.
That's my point.
Exactly. You got to find black folk to hang out with, right? Boy, I'm so sick of him. I don't know what to do. But he and the last time I saw him, it was so funny. Jordan had called me out of the blue, and she was 'cause she went to Nova. And I saw her graduation online.
Yeah, that's what most of them go. Cause that's what Shalisha going back to school to get
At
her
Nova.
PhD.
And baby, when I tell you, I cried when I heard her voice, or not her voice, but her seeing her graduate, and I was like, yeah, they're gonna my baby. And so she had called me out the blue, and it's like, where you? I'm like, girl, I'm so happy to be in the hospital. And her and Dominique came out and saw me at home. That was the last time I had seen them. Few years back. I was like,
I don't know what, he just went down the wrong
road.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on now. Come on. This is crazy. That's how
I met them through you.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like, come on now. But yeah, I'm like, I'm gonna write them. I'm gonna get them together. Listen. I don't know what it is you doing. He did, he did.
Well, you done told him it ain't working for him, so
it ain't.
I don't know why you trying to, run the streets.
Exactly.
So that's just crazy.
This ain't, and girl, like, I don't know, so when it was kind of seemed like he was gonna get on the right track, so he went down there to Santa Fe, and then, he loved football and stuff like that, and I tried to used to come to the games or whatever. Sometimes he looked like he was so disappointed. I was trying to get them kids done ripped them around me, honey. Miss Angie coming to the games, Miss Angie. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to put all y'all on the calendar. But and so when he left out, I don't know. I think I told you this. He left from Santa Fe. He tried to say like he was a walk-on to Florida. Now, I know that it's hard to get on at Florida. I mean, anybody knows that. That's a premium football team. Right? And so he had his mom and dad and them all excited. And they was sending it out, and he had them found this clip, this dude that was on the team that it looked like him with the helmet on and stuff like that. And all of that, whatever. And I'm like, nah. Now they know who I am. And they know I can find out anything. Come on now. Especially when it comes to some sports. Come on now. So I'm looking. I'm like, I don't know. And I went to making my calls and whatever. He was nowhere near no Florida. First of all, you barely graduated. You got to have the grade still, and the SAT score. That's Florida you're talking about. And remember, we used to have tickets and stuff to go to Florida games. The free tickets and stuff like that Tony got us. For everybody. Like, what? All up in their locker rooms and stuff like that. So what are you talking about? So this is going to be easy to find out. Girl, and I didn't want to break it to, Frank and them. I was like, because she sent out that photo and my little gator and kept bragging, and she sent it out to everybody. She got all them white people upper echelon people and stuff like that. And I'm on the email list, whatever. Then I said, Frankie, you might need to stop sending this out, because he's not on this team. Yes, he is. I'm like, Frankie, he's not. So he had them went and made a whole report card thing from Florida.
Girl, no, he didn't.
Yes, he did. He did all of that. Yes, he did.
And he
It
was
took,
took the time to do all that to fool people thinking that he in school somewhere.
yes,
Mm.
he did all of that. And I was like, oh my gosh. Right. I was like, oh my gosh. It was a lot. It was a lot. He hadn't done. I was like, Frankie, this is not the truth. I'm telling you. And I'm because I don't want you to. But yeah, I'm like, Frank, you just sending it to all these your good white people. I'm like, please, just stop sending this out. You know, I don't want to be the one to tell you. And then so, Mr. Her husband, he kept, calling me, try to get the information. I'm like, I'm telling you, the trainer don't know him, the assistant coach. None of these people know it. It's not on the roster.
He probably needed to get out of Jacksonville is what he needed to do, get out of Florida and go somewhere else.
He was already down there at Gainesville when he was pulling this.
Yeah, but I'm just saying he need to get out of Florida, period.
Yeah.
He need a whole new start somewhere else. He's just fooling around with the wrong crazy people.
Yes, girl, and
well, he'll get tired of going to jail.
Yeah, and then the thing about it is he was over there at the junior college. Well, they were paying for his apartment. They was paying for his apartment. Because when he got in trouble, I went with her to help clean up his apartment and bring up all the stuff out the apartment. It was crazy, but I kept saying, baby, he's not on this team. And this little boy, and I went and found the little boy that he was sending out as him. It was crazy. I was like, oh my God. I don't know. That is my baby, but Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy, honey.
Yeah. He just went down the wrong road and just can't get back on track. Huh?
Right. I don't know. Maybe if he focused on a job or something, because he got a couple kids now.
Oh no, I didn't know he had no kids.
Yeah, I think he got at least two. A girl and a boy. He got at least two.
Well, that ain't good either. Because now he ain't in their life either. Because he's too busy being in and out of jail.
Right. He needs to focus on something that he wants to do. He got a few strikes against him, and something that's going to be able to take care of him and his kids or whatever, because he's going to have to leave that life of crime alone. Him with these guns and stuff, it's just, I can't, I can't. But he had gotten, the thing said he gotten sentenced the other day, so, child, I'm like, oh my gosh. And, now this don't say nothing what I'm saying, but I know you know, no, you don't talk.
Yeah.
But Kia, she had breast cancer.
Oh.
I'm supposed to be going to visit her, maybe next week or something.
Oh, she going through it now?
Yeah, she just got out the hospital last week. A week ago. She had a double mastectomy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, she ain't got time to worry about him right now. She need to worry about herself.
No, I'm not talking about Frankie. I'm talking about Kia, Dexter, Kia.
Now, I remember Dexter, his wife?
Yeah, the one that was all the fitness and all of that. Yeah. She had a gallbladder removed and something else.
Good grief.
Yeah, and now it's the dang on cancer. Oh.
It be the healthy ones, I tell you. I tell you, you doing all this stuff, thinking you taking care of yourself, and then you be the one with all the crazy stuff.
Yeah, and she, baby, I tried to work out with her on that train, baby, I almost died. I was like, oh no. Oh no. I do a little workout. Huh?
You didn't go out there with her, did you?
Yeah, I went out there. My baby became her own little workout partner. Her and Gabby, but baby, I can't do it. I'm like, oh no, huh? Married, and she either she done had the baby or Yeah, girl.
Okay.
Yeah, so my
Yeah, it's
kids
been a
are
lot of
getting it.
years since I heard them names.
Uh-huh, uh-huh. Yeah, my kids are, man, everybody doing it. I don't know if you remember um, Toya, do you?
That name don't sound familiar.
Oh, okay.
She played over there too.
At one point, but she was, her mom and me, we were pretty cool at one point. But no, she has a billboard. She's a lawyer too. She has billboards on the on on uh on the highway.
Oh, okay.
Mhm. Mhm. Yep. Yeah. So man, but it's a lot. I ain't talked to Katrilla in a minute. I saw her and Lee about sometime in 2024.
Yeah, you don't be seeing Lee. I don't be seeing her either.
Oh,
I guess she done separated herself from all of them too, huh?
it, well,
She
you
don't
know
be
they.
with Antoinette and all them.
Yeah, I don't think so. But
Mm.
I saw the little cousin. Do you remember the little cousin? What the little
Yeah,
cousin?
Deja.
Yes, honey. I'm like Deja, a grown woman. I'm like, oh,
Yeah, she was so little.
so little, honey. And she's a
You never
grown.
look her age.
Exactly. Don't look her age now. And so they when she they put me on a 3-way with Deja, and I think they called Trill. This was another time, and I talked to them. I was like, girl, I saw Jaw. Remember Jaw?
Yeah, 'cause she in town. I ain't seen her since who knows when.
Yeah, I got her phone number. I still have it, honey. That and her mom I don't know. Her mom, it's, I don't know if she retired from, she stopped working the rooms, because she used to do the showrooms for Rooms to Go in Ethan Allen.
Oh,
She
okay.
was, I think she was trying to open up her own home interior thing. And I remember when we had rode down to, when we went down to Virginia, when we was in the room, she was doing her homework and putting the patterns and all that stuff together. Child, we think that that's just easy. So somebody putting the patterns together and people going to school for it. Why would they need to go to school for this? Child,
It ain't
please,
easy.
it ain't easy. I was looking, I was like, girl, you got to do all this here?
Oh, yeah.
I just thought maybe you gonna put some patterns together and move some furniture around, and that'd be it.
No, that's why you have to go to school for all this foolishness.
Yes. So, yeah, but that, yeah. Oh, and Kim, she got her. I think Kim got a doctorate too. She's
Yeah,
a
in physical therapy. I saw that. Yeah.
Where you saw that? Was on Facebook?
I think it was either Instagram, one of them, Instagram or Facebook.
Oh, okay.
I saw that. Say little Kim over there doing big things.
Yes, honey, that's what I'm talking about. I'm like, go on, y'all. This is what I'm talking about.
I say, yeah, you like seeing stuff where they doing something. These ones that's running around here every day with foolishness, ain't nobody got time for that.
Right.
Like, go ahead and make some of yourself, because I said, I don't know about Antoinette. I said, I don't know what she got going on. I said, but I'm about sick of that one. I said, I just want people, if you want to be gay, be gay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to push so hard to make people accept it. Just be you.
Oh, she on that?
And all that. Child, well, her and her wife getting ready to have a baby. Baby due any day now.
Who cares?
The wife is carrying it. You didn't know that?
No, I didn't know that. So the wife, is the wife white? Oh, she black.
Yeah, she looked like she could be related to her.
What?
Yeah, she do any day now. Last weekend, I think they had the baby shower.
Well, did she have as many as a sister? Because I said, where's the next baby shower in Paris? Baby shower over here. Baby shower over there. Baby shower over.
I know. And let's see, because we went to the gender reveal. We didn't go to the baby shower. We went to the gender reveal. And I'm like, they did send the invite for the baby shower. Hell, I'm like, you ain't sent no pictures of the baby. No, they wouldn't post the baby on Facebook. And then I saw the baby for the first time at the party.
Oh, okay.
I said, y'all be want people to come to stuff and give you gifts and stuff, but then y'all don't even take the time to send nothing,
Girl.
They just said the baby was born, how they want to cover the baby up. They want to post the picture out there, but then they want to cover the baby up.
Yeah.
I said, if y'all gonna be doing all that, just don't post the baby.
Yeah, well, that's the royal family, honey. What are you talking about? No, no pictures, paparazzi.
Yes. Yeah. This is total foolishness, child.
Wow.
But yeah, she carrying the baby, so she do any day now. Cause when we saw her, it's like she ready to pop in.
I ain't know nothing about no baby. I still got to get back over there on that Facebook. I ain't been over there. Everybody tell me,
they post everything out there. Ain't no secrets. Everything out
there. Baby, listen here. When I was over there, we used to have Facebook popping. Lord have mercy, honey. Everybody.
I just say everything ain't made on Facebook.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that too. You find out everything you need to find out on Facebook. Shoot, when JT died, JT Townsend died, we were all on Facebook when he was took his last breath watching that Miami game, and then Sylvia had came through and said, he took his last breath. I'm like, what? I'm like, we just was in, because I was saying JT, they was talking about how Miami.
Yeah, because I had just saw him at something too. I don't remember what it was. He was at something. He was at something. And next thing you know, they said he was dead. I'm like, okay, now that's crazy. But yeah, that was all out there.
Yep, and I told his family, I said, please keep his social media up, because he's still he's on my Twitter and my Facebook. But yeah, and I was like, JT, don't let them people stress you out, because they was talking about how Miami Heat fans are fickle. They sometimes they love him and they hate him and stuff like that. And he was saying, I'm a real Heat fan, and he was reading them. And the next thing you know, Sylvia came through and said he died in the chair watching the game. My mouth was open. Yeah, young baby.
Yeah, because it seemed like he was doing well, everything he had went through, so I was like, he seemed been thriving and stuff.
Yeah, those people came through, and them white people, baby, came through. The Jaguars, the NFL, all of them. I think his, he was, every year, he has a charity event.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. I think they be holding it at UNF or something like that. But it's one of.
I can't remember where, but yeah, he has something
every
year.
Or the TPC or something. But yeah. And all them white people, they are the ones that built that house. Okay, they're the ones that, he started to go into school, but they're the ones that bought that van. And all of that.
Yeah, but what I told him, I said, shoot, that man always had a smile on his face.
Yes, he did.
I said, all that he had went through.
Yes.
I said, every time I saw him, he was always smiling.
Yes. I love old JT. JT was funny to me. But Tree and she told me that they not as close as they used to be, child.
Who?
Roundtree and that side of the family.
Yeah. They seem to have a breakup. They don't really talk to each other.
Yeah, that is crazy, but man.
Yeah, that's what I say. When y'all left, y'all said bye.
I stuck around. I kept going on stuff about 2 years. I did, and then I don't know if I had gotten sick. Yeah, but Yeah, that was. But listen, I brought in good people. Y'all still stuck in. Well, you pretty much. Cause I don't know what happened to my white people.
He be running them off after they start seeing. Cause yeah, it was plenty of people there at one point.
Oh yeah.
And it seemed like somehow they fall out and then they gone.
Yeah, exactly. One and another thing, a lot of them had was getting tired of how the wife was talking to people and stuff like that.
And then that was the main thing. That's what I told him. I said, cause she tried it, and I said I had to just go on and say what I had to say.
Ooh.
Like I don't answer to you.
Oh, no, ma'am. Oh, I didn't know y'all had. From time to time, you had to read her.
I never really had much to say to him. I tolerated him, but I mean with her. Because, you going to tell me to coach. I don't need you sitting over there trying to tell me how to do stuff. You could have coached.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just the way she talked to you and stuff. And I was just, don't say nothing to me.
Yeah.
Don't say nothing to me.
Yeah. And she would make you read her, baby. And you'd be like, look.
So, I mean, I just tolerate her. I speak. That's about it. I mean, I ain't going to be fake.
Mm-hmm.
Act like we good friends and stuff, because I was like, it's a way to do everything. You got to learn how to talk to people.
Exactly.
And you ain't paying me, so therefore you can't just say what you want to say.
Right.
I ain't getting a dime out of this.
Exactly. I had so many people, Miss Angela, we'd rather deal with you. And I'm like, oh, Lord.
And that's how everybody was.
Yeah. I'm like, but check this out. Don't get me in trouble with that, because he be seeing, like, I mean, this was something just as simple as, at what they call the bougie people church. They, wanted to play, the girls wanted to play a game against the men, right, against the dudes at the church, because they was laughing about how the guys was letting these little girls beat them up, right? And so we had fun day after church and stuff like that. And then he's like, nah, we got somewhere to go and whatever. So the people that was staying at my house, that came from out of town, they said, no, they are at Miss Angie's house, and wherever she wants them to go, she'll, I said, no, don't do that. Just let them go on. Well, because I don't want to have to go off on these people again. Because y'all know when we have it out, baby, it be a divide. Listen, girl, that mess right there, that first big bout. And my thing is, like, when, at that time, like when you get into it with him, then she gonna act funny, and at that time Tree was gonna act funny with you too. So, and I'm like, what? Oh, okay, this is how we do it? Not a problem. And child, then they had that first bout, they had kicked me off the board and everything. Hey, and so then when it got resolved, first of all, you don't come to my house without calling. That's number one. See, that's all that there. He think he runs your life.
Yeah.
You understand that? He thinks he runs your life.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, no. You don't come to my house without calling. That's number one. But it so happened I was what that thing they always have each year, where the I had tickets to go to that thing, where hot sauce and white chocolate, and it was something like the Harlem Gold Trials. That little thing used to come every year.
I don't know about no hot sauce.
The basketball, when they doing these tricks and stuff with the ball.
Oh, the Harlem Gold Trials.
Like that, but the younger version of them. Yeah. So I had tickets, and so happened I was opening, and I don't know how they be getting through the gate, how people get through that gate. I opened the door, and they was standing up there, the all three of them. Oh. And then and then he talking about, you can, and he ain't never done nothing formal in his life. He said, I brought the letter that kicked you off the board, but you're not kicked off. I said, no, I'm gonna stay off it. How about that? I'm gonna stay off the board. Girl, yeah, all that mess, and and when you have, it makes it so hard because when you be falling out and stuff like that, you don't fall out with the kids. You understand what I'm saying?
Right,
So them
right,
kids are still glued to you.
right, right.
You know, and you know how his kids, man, his kids, shoot.
Oh yeah, they be clinging on 'cause every time they say,
Exactly.
"Hey auntie, I miss
Yeah.
you,"
I
and
miss
I'm like,
you,
"Look, ain't nobody got time for this foolishness."
Yeah, and so you know what I'm talking. So it's like and if it kind of could make it awkward, but we be civilizing that on that respect. But yeah, I was like,
Yep.
girl, yeah,
I try to keep it peaceful.
yeah, exactly. We can't do like we did that poor white man. That man was so sick of us. That
Well,
man,
what for that Mandarin.
yeah.
I think all of them. I don't care who. I think throughout the years, I know all of them was sick of me because I was sick of them.
Girl, when I tell you, hon, when I done look around and you done lay across the bench, I holler. We was so sick of them people. They was like, please, please, and they probably like, how they gonna heckle our team?
Hey, they knew. They knew it was all this paycheck to them. I'm like,
Yes,
we serious about this. We ain't got time to
exactly. We serious. Y'all up here playing. This is serious. Okay?
Y'all acting like y'all up at the wire or something. Come on,
Exactly. There are a bunch of, not just our children, there are a bunch of kids that need to go to college. Yeah, y'all up here can't
y'all
even get them a look.
Y'all probably saved up money for them and stuff, but this is how we were trying to get there.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody got time to be playing with y'all, but oh yeah.
Exactly. They need a look. Ain't nobody gonna, all these coaches that's coming to see, like that's how they come see a certain kid play, but
yep, they gonna
see everybody. Right, exactly.
This is my chance.
Exactly. And you sitting up there with this foolishness, baby, if you don't cut it out, yeah, that man was sick of us. That man said they are heckling our team. Child.
We gave him pure hell.
Oh my God, we gave him pure hell. That thing was so funny. Oh Lord, we was loud, honey. Oh, you ain't think we was no kind of professionals.
my children won't let me live that down. Talking about you and Miss Angie. I'm like, look, whatever.
Who said that?
Shanice used to say it all the time. We was at them games. She was little then.
Yeah.
And it was we were watching Yasmin and Shantira play. It's like, shoot, that's from middle school on up.
Girl, okay. Child.
It started from middle school on up. It didn't stop.
It did not stop,
we need
honey.
to get some serious coaches here.
Yes, honey. That is so funny. Your baby. No, they didn't play for the other black thing that would like Frank and and the Avis man played. What was that? What was that group? Oh man, it was this black dude. He had an organization, and Frankie's Dominique played. That's how I met Frankie. The white guy, the Avis man, we were all on the same team. And he had this organization, girl. It was big too. He he ran it differently. And I was on the phone with that guy. Let me tell you something. Now, I ain't trying to be racist, but that man sounded like a white man on the phone. Had I known he was black, because I was already scarred, I wouldn't even brought my baby out there. I was already scarred, girl. Yes, I wouldn't. And when I got up there, and I first met her, I'm like, you the dude I was talking on the phone? I was like, oh Lord, I'm finna put myself through some foolishness. But
his other voice, huh?
Yes, I forgot what's the name of that, but I think they done went out of business now. But that's how I met Frankie, and it was The whole thing. It was my baby and Jordan was like Pippin and Micah Child. That they was a whole team. They was a whole entire team, and it was so funny, right? So you saw all the white people saying that our kids knew how to play a little, play better, and I think Jordan had played like in the Y or at Pal or something before that. And honey, when I tell you, we couldn't move. Here come a trail of white people. We couldn't move. Here come a trail of white. I'm like, what these white people want? And then they come to find out, they wanted to take their kid and sign them up where my child was. I'm like, oh, okay, you should have said that because you keep following me, baby, like you the feds. Like, what's going on? I'm familiar how y'all follow people. Yeah. And that's how I ended up getting some of those white folks because from that little league, it was a little league they had. They had signs everywhere. I don't know, it was the U something. But girl, yeah, that was
I said out of nowhere, I started getting emails and stuff now from YBOA. I'm like, look, I ain't heard from y'all from when I first started coaching.
Wow, YBOA.
So I guess they still kicking it, but I said they wasn't sending emails, but now all of a sudden I'm starting to get emails again. I'm like, what's this all about?
Yeah, because probably I don't know, because you was on the YMCA email.
Yeah, well, we was doing. Yeah, I still get mess from them. But when I first came over there with him, we did a YBOA league 1 year.
Yeah.
I think we only did it just 1 year. We didn't go back because those games used to be played in Gainesville all the time.
Yeah, we see by time, but we was there. We was doing YBOA, USSSA, and AAU. Yeah, and so USSSA and AAU, of course, they had the most and the big. So I used to like YBOA though.
Yeah, because we got to play some different kids.
Yeah.
So so I hadn't heard from them since who knows when. But I said I guess they must be out there trying to gather people up again. I guess.
Right. Yeah,
maybe they trying to get started again. I don't know. But I didn't think it was bad. But most of the time we played them games, those games were all in Gainesville.
Okay. Oh, okay. I remember that. Let me see. I don't know where our first YBOA game was, but I know like with USSSA, we had a lot of games that was down south and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. Well, we ain't stayed put. We was all over the place.
Okay, all over the place.
I said, because even from coaching over there at Potter's house, we was everywhere. I kept saying, good grief, I can't be traveling with y'all. I got a job.
Yeah, and baby, at some point, and it was good that we had those type of positions where we could go everywhere out and stay as long, because the people, most jobs gonna put us out. You and the basketball.
That's what I'm saying. And it was like once we got through, here I am trying to work, and then here I got to babysit. I'm like, y'all need to get some parents up in here.
Right.
I said I can't even do my work. I said I got to do something. I'm gonna be jobless, and y'all ain't paying.
Right. Exactly. Now, right. That is crazy. But yeah, child.
Yeah, y'all used to travel with y'all kids. The new age kids, they parents can come with them.
Right. Like me, because Trilla, she was over where that lady worked at, Casey Anthony mama worked at, that same place. She was over that. And actually she was giving Kia was getting some contracts through Trilla as well to do the physical, but occupational therapist. That's what Kia is. But so everybody had like that type of job, right? And then so that's why we could be on the road like that,
right?
But some of these people, I don't even think they were. Is some of them fathers or something how they used to. I know you was there when them games with the daddies used to show up and cut the food. I think you was there. Let me see.
Who had some Gainesville? I don't remember no games.
You don't remember no Gainesville people? Okay, because it was it wasn't no. Was it Ocala? No, it was Gainesville. No.
Oh,
it was
that was some Ocala ones now. Those,
the Ocala
they
ones.
up all the time.
Okay, it was ones before that. It was the Gainesville people kind of ushered in some of the Ocala people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so in the middle, it was some Gainesville people. Because I'm gonna tell you, my child was in 8th grade, so I don't know if Shalise was over there yet. Yeah, my child was in the 8th grade.
Yeah, child, yeah. Them kids was in 8th grade playing with 12th graders and stuff. So,
exactly.
That didn't mean nothing to them.
Exactly. So, yeah, honey. Yeah, so you missed the Gainesville rave.
Yeah, I guess I missed them because I had to deal with the Ocala people.
Ocala people was that tall girl that went to Florida.
Yeah.
All of them. They got them, the Gainesville people kind of got some of them in with us. Yeah, so those Gainesville people, you know what they did, right? Of course, what happens? They get mad, start their own, their own
That's
group.
what everybody do. They get mad and leave and go start their own
group. Yeah, because the girl that plays she plays one of them in. But the girl in there went to the University of South Florida, plays in the NBA now. She played Courtney. Courtney. She kind of came with the Gainesville people.
Okay, so all that was before me.
Yeah,
she
came with She came with the Gainesville people. So yeah. Yes, honey. Yeah, that thing used to be crazy, girl. I was telling somebody the other day. I say, honey, someone used to call me and say a white man looking for you, such and such looking for you.
Oh, he done disappeared. I'm like, all right, I don't know what happened to him. Your little buddy.
Who? Kenny? No, oh yeah, I know what he is. But I'm talking about when other people used to be looking for me, random people.
Anybody, trying to find out where you at.
Yeah, looking for me. Y'all be calling me like, such. You know how black people do. Such looking for some white man looking for you. I used to holler. I said, it's okay. I run up into him. Yeah, but no, Kenny is a vice principal down, and this is as of a couple of years ago, I don't know about now, down there, somewhere in Central Florida somewhere.
Oh, okay. So he ain't in the area no more, because last I remember he was over at First Coast.
Now, was you there when, so he done left from there. Was you there when he got knocked out? Was you there with Coach? You was there when he got knocked out? Girl, bye. Girl, you was what? I didn't know you was there. I thought it was just Tony down there. You know you was there.
Yeah, I remember that.
Girl,
What cracked me up was when he got married to that little black lady.
Yeah, that he stole from one of the people in the in our little and I don't want to call it a circle, but he stole that lady from this white dude named Rob.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like he was stealing players, so he went and stole them a woman.
Yeah, stole a woman. Yes.
That's a mess.
Girl, I didn't know you was down there when he got knocked out.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We was down at Disney, wasn't it? At Disney?
It was, I think I don't know. Was it at Disney? It could have been.
Oh, I remember when it happened. He was asking for it.
Oh, yeah, trust me. I know how he got on that floor, too. I know who did it. What? I didn't know you was down there. And, baby, from what I'm told, ain't nobody told cops.
Ain't nobody told nothing. And he probably didn't even tell it either. You know, the best bet was to be quiet.
Yeah, that was the best bet. That was the best
So
bet.
he knew all that was gonna do is open up the door for some more.
Yeah, he deserved that. That man now,
Mm-hmm.
and baby, and when he thought we were cool, or when and his then he had another little antagonistic buddy that was doing the same mess.
Oh yeah. I can't remember his name, but yeah, he did. He married a black lady too. So yeah.
Mhm.
His little buddy. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and let me tell you, so the little buddy was bullying people and acting like a fool. So I was checking him, and so yeah, and then so then when I saw them, Kenny, because he thought we was cool, he gonna we civil, we cordial. He gonna bring the dude over to meet me, right? And and we talked or whatever. And then next thing you know, he get back to bullying people. I'm like, hey, we ain't doing that. He said, I met you, we was cool and everything. I said, yeah, that don't mean I'm gonna allow you to bully people and talk crazy. No, we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that.
They could do all that though.
Yeah, that was crazy. And then Jack Kenny around here dropping my name to get jobs. And then that man came over here, and I was like, he said, what? He said, I can vouch for him. I said, what? He said, oh, I can tell by your expression. Like, boy, if you don't stop, like, dude, they just wanted us to be on civil, be civil to each other because they really want this ESPN sports thing, whatever, to take off and whatever they want us to work together. Dude, that don't mean we good.
He thought that was his way in.
Yeah, that don't mean we good. Child,
He thought that was the way in.
Exactly.
So just start dropping names.
Exactly. That's
crazy.
Right. That's all he's ever done. He's a clout chaser. He was a clout chaser.
We figured that out. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He was a clout chaser before clout chasing was clout chasing, child.
Didn't even care who he had to step on their back to get
Sure
where he
didn't.
needed to be. Mm-hmm.
Sure didn't. And baby, when he asked, I don't know which one of Coach's kids to come play. Child,
that was just stupid.
That was stupid. I was like, oh yeah, you aiming to get beat down. You just want to get beat down. Now, was you still there when Coach had got in trouble for hitting somebody not too long ago?
I want to say I do remember him doing, getting into it with somebody.
Well, he was like, no, I think this was maybe within 3 or 4 years.
Because I ain't been there since COVID. After COVID hit, I hadn't been there.
Oh, okay. He was like, I think he was at the high school, regular high school.
Oh, so he done did it again, huh?
Uh-huh.
He ain't ran across the right one yet either.
Oh,
so what happened?
Lord.
What happened over at Reigns?
That's what I don't know why that situation is no longer a situation, but I think he was working there when he put hands on somebody. He was like, oh, he told me I was thinking about my job and all of that. He put hands on somebody. But I don't know. Was you in Georgia when I was going to jump down on that thing? Wait a minute. Oh yeah, and I got banned from there. Child.
you got banned.
Yeah. They still got me banned.
Oh, you still banned? Yeah, they let. You still can't go back.
They after Coach told me that he can go back. I went and checked. My name is still on the list.
Well, how he was able to go back?
I don't know. I don't know. But it happened the same day. That girl down there on how it's made. The only way down was I was gonna have to jump down off that ledge. And baby, yeah, I'm like, that's the only place I'm banned from now. Yep.
It's in Georgia, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, I heard y'all talk about that, but no, I wasn't there.
Yep. Banned in Georgia, honey. Oh, girl, them people, they had put him in cuffs in Georgia that time. They ain't put me in no cuffs.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I guess it didn't mean nothing. I guess that if they didn't let him come back. I don't
Yeah.
know why you can't go back then.
I don't know, girl. I don't know. I mean, I guess I have to figure out what it is I need to do to get off the list. I ain't planning to go back there anyway, but
Yeah.
just yeah, it's just these child. Yeah, but I didn't know you was there when Kenny got put on that ground.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I said, shoot, I always felt like we was part of some kind of secret security. You trying to gather up all them kids and get them moved out and moved it.
Exactly.
I know that last fight they had broke out in Orlando when that girl, was it Lee? She had ran into the pole on the goal. Shoot, man, they was clearing that gym out.
Wait a minute.
Grab kids. I think it was, I want to say
Well,
it was
not
Lee. I'm more than sure you were. But it was like we was all sitting in the bench, and I think she was out on the fast break, and the girl just came and just pushed into the thing, and the whole stand cleared. Bench cleared.
Yeah. That made a magazine. I wasn't, and they put my child in the magazine. You know what? Because my child was 18. Cleared. Yeah, because didn't they push Jaw or something like that? Was that the one? We was in the back at Disney.
Yeah, we was back in the back. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it was Lee. I think they had pushed Jaw or something like that. Something. And
but
that
it
whole
was a dirty move, and we just cleared. I don't know, might have been the people from South Florida too.
It was.
But we cleared out that place, and then the kids that was sitting over there with us, they done ran out on the floor.
Yeah, that's how
we trying to gather up everybody, go out the back way.
Yeah, exactly. That's how we got in the magazine, because they couldn't wait to because they saw my daughter come and cross over there to the team to help out with I guess she's been to fight too.
That was nasty anyway, so yeah.
Yeah, so they put her in the magazine. And and I went off about that, and then I was in the stand. I kept hollering at for her. I said, "You 18, you 18, come back here!" And when she stopped in her tracks, and they got the picture of her in the middle of the floor, and they put that in the magazine. Yeah. Girl, yeah.
Magazine, yeah, that was ugly, but that girl was playing nasty anyway.
Yes. If I'm not mistaken, that is that girl who ended up going to Baylor. If I'm not mistaken, but yeah, it was some mess. That particular game was some mess. I think it's that girl. Yeah. Well, anyway, child, I done talked your head off, girl.
Oh, no, that's good, no problem. We just catching up.
Yes, ma'am, catching up, honey. Well, you tell everybody I said hello.
All right, then.
All right,
talk to you later.
All right, girl.
All right.
All right, bye-bye. That's my partner. That's my partner.